Okay, this is the 17th video now. Okay, let's get through this, guys. This video is my testimony. I'm doing this because me and the kids were watching Champion Baptist Church on Holy Monday, and he asked everybody to put their testimony out on social media, because right now people need faith, they need hope, and they need to hear good things. And we need to spread the word. I mean, that's part of what we're supposed to do. So a voice told me, Alex, you need to do this. And so I said, okay, well, I don't question God when he tells me to do things, obviously. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. Even though I argued with him a little bit. But, here we are. So a little background, I went to Sunday school and choir on Wednesdays. I love to sing. And it was part of my routine growing up. It was just what we did. It wasn't until high school that I really kind of questioned God, because, well, other people were, as, a high schooler might. And I was kind of somewhere in the middle. I kind of had this feeling like, there's got to be something. And then a part of me was like, but why? That doesn't make sense. Why would, And so I was very excited to start my journey into college. So my tale starts long ago in a faraway off land of Waco, Texas, at Baylor University. I was obviously a freshman, and I started noticing a lot of Christians around me. It is a Christian college, but I had never been surrounded by people my age, or older and more adults, that were just, did things willingly, that, like going to church and going to life group and doing this and that. And so I found that very intriguing. I'm a very, 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 very curious person, and I will continue to ask questions until I'm satisfied that I completely understand something. And there are many that can vouch for that. So I started asking questions to people. I started surrounding myself with an amazing group that went to Antioch. I started worshiping, going to church and worshiping. I started going to a life group and had an amazing group. I had a journal that I kept, asking my questions and writing down the things that I was learning, prayers, all that kind of stuff. I slowly could feel my soul feel a little bit different, but it was still in that curiosity mode and learning, kind of mode. And so it wasn't until one night at life group when one of my leaders, Angie, and then another girl that was in the life group, Meredith, who were best friends, asked for donation, or if anybody knew somebody that could donate towards their mission trip that they were going to in Juarez. And it was like someone took control of my body. Immediately went to my purse, got my checkbook, wrote a check. I can't remember the amount. It was like $100 each, I think. So it was $200 total. And I think that was almost to the goal, that the amount that they needed to go on the trip, or close to it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all are watching. I then, afterwards, after life group, got in my car and realized, oh crap, I literally gave them everything that I had in my bank account. I was like, what did I do? Oh my gosh, was that a mistake? How am I going to have my rodeo clown coffees at Common Grounds that I'm addicted to and can't live. I pretty much lived off of those drinks. And finally came to the conclusion that me and my cereal and ramen were going to become best friends that week, because it wasn't for another week that I was going to get money again. And so that had to last me, a full week. And I think it was about $2 and something cents left in my account. So I kind of questioned God and was like, you know, right? Like, of course he knows how much I have in my account. I mean, but still, I was like, yeah. But again, I was so happy that I could serve God, because he asked me to do something and I did it. But also I love these girls and they were changing my life. They were helping change my life. And I would do anything. I would help in any way possible that I could, to help anybody, but let alone these girls. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to enjoy my ramen and my cereal and do my thing. So a couple days later, I went to my mail, like the student mail room, and got my mail. And I got to my dorm and realized that I had gotten a letter from my dad, which is very random. I would never knew when I was going to get or hear from my dad. I loved receiving his letters because he'd always put a funny cartoon. He was an amazing artist, and he would always draw funny jokes or pictures, or tell me stories of what he was doing. He's a brick collector, and told me stories of where he went to go trade, or a historical, he'd always tell me these little history facts and take pictures, and he would send me pictures of, old tomb. I don't know. It was just fun. I was like, oh, this is great. This is good. This is what I need. So I opened the letter, and in there was $200 cash, the exact amount that I had given Meredith and Angie for the mission trip. And at that point, when I saw the money, my entire body started like this low frequency vibration and tingling. Like I can't even, it's so hard to describe unless you felt it, but it was something came over my entire body, from the tip of my hair to the tip of my toes, pretty much. And it was like the whole, my soul finally found the Holy Spirit. And it was the most incredible experience I had, and feeling I had ever had. And at that point is when I finally realized this was my rebirth. Because, anybody can argue with me that this was just a thing, a coincidental thing, and da 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 da. But it wasn't, and I know that it wasn't. It was God. It was completely God. He is. He finally showed that when you serve me, I will provide, and I will never stop providing. And that his love for me is so tremendous. And it was just the most incredible feeling. At that point, my life completely changed. I started having dreams about people that things happened to, or that happened like the day before, and I would say, hey, I had this really funny dream about you the other day, and tell them like to the detail, and their faces would just drop, because it literally happened. And I had no idea. But God was slowly showing me, hey, I have a plan for you, and showing me things that are unexplainable. And the only way to explain it was God. He's magical. He's amazing. And to know him is such an honor. And I am so thankful that I do, because my life would be so different if I didn't have him. One thing that I noticed about people who have God in their life and people who don't, when something happens, like you have a bad day or something negative happens or sadness or anything, there's something that you can see, or at least I can see in their soul. And when you have God, it's this assurance, it's this matter of fact thing that I can see or sense, that I know that that person knows everything's gonna be okay. Yes, they're sad. Yes, they're worried. Yes, those are human feelings. But when you don't have God, it's different. At least I can see it and feel it. Life without God is just a life. It's like a shell. That person may think that there's meaning and things, but your whole world and view is completely different when you allow God into your life. And at that point, I had my Oprah aha moment. And it's testimonies sometimes are like so amazing and incredible. And my story may not be that incredible or amazing, but in my life at that point, when I undid that letter and saw that money, the exact amount that I had given, was given back to me, I knew that was God. And that's when I felt the Holy Spirit completely consume my body and say, hey, I'm here. And he was so thankful that I allowed him fully into my life at that point. And he said, girl, I'm going to change your life and you better get ready for it. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. And he took me on a journey, and we're all still on that journey. And it is a fun little ride, even though sometimes I am like, God, what are you doing? But that's part of our life lessons, and that's what we're supposed to go through. That's why we're here, is to learn and to feel sadness, but at the same time, give our full faith into God, and he will comfort. My story could go on and on and on because I have so many, but this was only supposed to be like 1 minute and 30 seconds, and we're not near that, and so I will end it short and sweet. And I pray that everybody, even though we're not surrounded by our entire family that we may usually be surrounded by, is blessed with their love and know that they're loved, and that we stop and think and are thankful for why we're here and the sacrifice that God gave in order for us to be here and to have what we have and the life that we have. And that if we just give our full faith in our mind, body, and soul to Christ, that it will never be the same. Your life will never be the same. And I would put an exceeding amount of money. Actually, there's no money I could really put to even make someone believe, but it's true. And I pray that everybody feels the Holy Spirit this weekend and thanks God for that horrible, painful sacrifice that he gave so that we could live. And I'm trying not to get emotional because I'm already emotional, but I hope everybody has a very blessed Easter. And even though our children are making us completely insane, that we put that aside and we realize why we're really here and what this weekend is really about. I hope everybody has an amazing day. I'm about to go get some turkey legs from our very good friend Carl Moore's Turkey Leg Hut. So, and I'm going to surprise Knox because he loves turkey legs. So, anyways, I hope that this testimony does something for somebody. And if you have questions, always ask. I'm an open book when it comes to that kind of stuff. But thank you to Angie and Meredith for making a difference in my life. And I'm glad I gave you all my money that I had. So I had to eat cereal and ramen for 3 days. And I enjoyed it. And so thank you for everybody that was in my life at that point, because my life was never the same after that. So I hope everybody, again, has a blessed Easter and it enjoys what is surrounding them.